Hey guys, Sam here from RØDE, and thanks for tuning in to watch the behind the scenes for Sticky Fingers live at Cleveland's. First off, I'd like to thank everyone who watched the video online. It had a really good viewer response, and it was great to see so many people engage with the video. It was a pretty stripped back session. It was also put together quite quickly, as the boys don't have a lot of time off in between touring, so they were nice enough to drop in between shows and bang out an acoustic version of One by One for everybody. In true rockstar fashion, the boys rocked up without any guitars, so there was a problem to overcome straight away. After scouring the neighbourhood for about 40 minutes, we managed to track down 2 acoustic guitars. One was in pretty good nick and the other not so much, but they were good enough and they got the job done. I mic'd both of these up using NT5s, placed roughly around the 12th fret, and I angled both of these mics in slightly to help cancel out the guitar on the opposite side. If you've watched any of the other sessions, you know the NT5 is my go-to acoustic guitar microphone, as it's really good at honing in and capturing that sound. I also DI'd both the guitars. Both of those DIs were pretty much unusable, to be honest. So what you're hearing in the live session is, I'd say 90% NT5 and maybe 10% of the DI mixed in there. And then we just had the one vocal to mic up. I started out trying to use the Classic 2 because it's my favourite mic, it's my go-to mic in most scenarios for singers. But because it's a very sensitive mic, it wasn't dealing with how dynamic Dylan was that day. He was kind of moving in and coming out of the microphone, and he was being quite loud, so the capture was having a hard time dealing with that. And as I wasn't able to ride the gains, I had to worry about the cameras also. It was just a bit too tricky to get away with it. So I moved on to my next choice, which was the S1, which came across really well. It captured that mid-range of his voice really nicely, but had that high that cut through the mix perfectly, which really suits his style of singing. In all honesty though, this is one of those times where I would have absolutely loved to have had a pop filter. Due to Dylan's voice being so dynamic, and because he was moving in and out, there were quite a lot of plosives that I had to remove in post. As I've said in earlier episodes, the only reason I don't use a pop filter at live at Cleveland's is purely for visual reasons. However, with a bit of time and care, I managed to get rid of all those plosives, simply by soloing Dylan's vocal in Pro Tools and going through and removing each and every one of those plosives. By bringing it down in volume, I managed to clean up the vocal track really nicely, and I'm really happy with the end results. So despite a few headaches regarding going and having to find guitars minutes before they were meant to play, and having to remove a few plosives in Pro Tools, I was really satisfied with the end result, and it seems like the general public was too. So thanks a lot for watching that session, and thanks a lot for tuning in today. And if you have any questions or queries, just write them in the comments section below and I'll do my best to get back to you. Thanks, and I'll see you in a few weeks.